Live from parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
We even have a live studio audience tonight.
We do. It's Bring Your Kid to Work Day.
Yeah, I don't have kids. So.
My kids are in a different state.
Oh.
We have failed as parents. I failed at being a parent. So.
We're going to start recording here in a minute. Just want to say hi to you guys if anybody wants to say hi.
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 Oh, you mean the people on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I may cut in and out tonight. Woohoo!
That's all right.
Catron's running the show.
Oh my gosh!
All right, you guys ready to start recording?
Yes, let's do it.
Is that you on?
This will be good.
3, 2. Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. I'm Ryan. I'm joined by my brother Chris and our good pal Catron, and I have the power.
Ooh. Do you now?
My best He-Man impression. We're going to be talking about Masters of the Universe tonight. I'm in Tennessee, so I don't have my nice mic. I don't have my nice equipment, so I may go in and out. I'm on my parents' Wi-Fi. I'm here taking care of Chris and I's father. He's been in the hospital and trying to get their house ready to sell.
You're in the very house that we first watched He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
True.
Huh. How about that?
I found a little Orko toy in a box here.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
That was our parents' toy.
That was what?
No? You pick them up. You like walks.
Oh, it was ours, yeah.
It's the only Orko with feet.
And he's very tall.
Yeah, he's very tall.
Seems like.
A little lanky.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on stilts. That's why his feet look like stilts.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Okay, yeah. That was from the 2000s show that they redid.
2003.
Is it really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
From Mickey D's.
Very cool.
That was a good show. I liked that one. Good.
Yeah, so anyways, so if I cut in and out, Catron's running the show tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's
what?
His son there with him to help him out.
That's right.
And then if Catron cuts out, I'm just going to be sitting here staring blankly at nothing.
Well, I mean, that's what we normally do, so that's...
Yeah.
So let's go into some news, and then we'll get into Masters of the Universe. Now, we're going to be talking about, I guess, the old school versus and the new Netflix series.
The history of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Will there be spoilers?
There will be spoilers. We can keep it low amount of spoilers if y'all want to, but we'll do our best. We'll yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
There'll be spoilers.
There's gonna be spoilers
later on.
So if you haven't watched it yet, just pause this for now. Go watch it. It's just 5 episodes.
Yeah,
they're like 30 minutes apiece. Sitting. You can do it in one sitting. I mean, it doesn't take any time at all. So
it's sort of,
come back.
It's sort of like we're doing a round table, but Ray Chase is in here. So
I know. I thought about that. I was like, we should have had Ray.
Well, let me call him up real quick.
It's not going to work. Let's talk about the news. What's happening this week? So like that. First off, all the shows are on hiatus because the Olympics are on, and I'm sure Chris has been watching them religiously.
Oh, constantly. I mean, people are like in pools and like running places. Some people have guns. And
some people had,
and swords.
Like air rifles.
Yes.
Did use?
Have you seen like the air rifles with the way they hold the rifles?
Oh yeah.
It's like this funny.
I was like, why are they holding it like that?
I was reading about it, and so there's no kickback on them because it's just an air rifle, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about it hitting them in the face or anything. They just have to balance the gun. Sorry, somebody's drag racing down the street here. So they rest it on their chest just to keep it as steady as possible because it's an air gun. You need it as steady as possible. And but they have these special glasses they look through, and it's really odd.
Why
to
do
me.
they wear the big leather cosplay jacket?
No, yeah, some of them really go all out. I feel like, and it's like, but they said there's some padding in there just to help with it because I guess it's heavy. I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, wait, is I watching a cosplay thing or
Right.
what's happening?
Yeah.
And skateboarding, that's a thing now.
Yeah, a 13-year-old one.
Yeah, they all look like 12 or something. Skateboarding.
Well, some they either look like 12 or like old. Like
the U.S. people that I saw looked like they were like in their like 30s, and then like all of like China looked like they were 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little strange because they have to do their best tricks, and like there's one where they just ride around the little skate park and do things, and then there's one where they just do one trick. And they get like 5 tries out of it.
Yeah, I saw the one trick one. It's just like, okay, I went down a rail, and that's it.
Yeah,
I know, but when they slow it down, you really see what they're trying to do, and you're like, oh, that does look kind of difficult because when you see it in full speed, it's like, oh no, I couldn't do any of it. But at the same time, it looks like it doesn't look that difficult until they slow it down, and then they explain it, and you're like, oh, he flipped the board around, or he's doing it. I forget what they called it, but with the other foot in front instead of the left foot, like you normally do.
Alley-oop?
No, that's not it.
An ollie is something in skateboarding.
It is something in skateboard, but not what I was trying to.
I don't know.
To say.
Switchfoot.
Switchfoot.
Yeah, Switchfoot.
Yes, that is it.
The band.
Yeah. The band. Yes.
Surfing's new this year too, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think so.
I haven't seen any surfing yet, though.
Which is funny. I saw a little bit. It's like there's a tsunami hitting soon. Let's do our surfing event. Goofy is when you use the other foot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, skateboard.
We've been watching a lot of handball, which I didn't know much about, and we turned it on. We didn't know what it was, and we turned it on. We're like, what is going on here? And it's like ultimate frisbee, and basketball and soccer, which is really kind of what ultimate frisbee is like. But you can only take so many steps before you have to throw it to somebody else. But the scores get super high, like in the 30s sometimes, and they just throw this little ball into a goal, and the goal is just like I might catch it, and it looks super difficult, but it's very high.
Is this something that we could do?
Speed.
We could start our own handball team.
I mean, you got to have a full team, like 11 people, I think.
11. Oh, I don't know.
It's a lot. Now, what we could do is they do have what is new this year is 3-on-3 basketball.
Oh, I'm sure
we could do it.
Yeah,
we would rock it.
I mean, France beat USA, so I mean, maybe we could.
But
it's just like street basketball. I mean, they just go and
my last name is
half of the
Street.
court.
So I mean,
we're
last name.
Very good at street ball.
Street ball.
We should be really good at this.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think I told my parents. I know I told my parents. I think I told Chris. I thought that was funny. The Olympics. How often is it every other?
It's every 4 years for the Summer Olympics, and then every 2 years is Olympics. So there'll be Winter Olympics really next year, not or 2 years because we're a year behind or whatever.
So every Olympics, I think it's funny that everybody gets all crazy about it and wanting to watch it, because when in your regular life do you sit down and go, man, I want to watch something? I wonder if there's any show on where people are walking with flags. I could really go for that right now.
I could anytime. I could do that anytime.
Because everybody was hyped about the opening ceremonies. You got to watch it. It's just people walking with flags.
That's a big, long, drawn out part of it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
in your everyday life, would you sit down and go, I want to watch a lot of oiled up people walk with flags?
Well, I mean, if they're oiled up, I mean, maybe. Because that one guy was like super shiny, and you couldn't take your eye off of him.
You got a picture of him right now. You're looking at him.
He's glistening. I am. I do. I do have a picture right here.
Oh, Vince, I missed the drones in the open. I guess there was drones. I missed.
Oh yeah, there was this really cool.
I missed it.
Drone. So the whole the ceremony was unreal. Like they had all of the these
so
cool
shiny.
things happening during the ceremony. The drones that he's talking about, they were in sections of, I don't know, maybe 20, but they formed a globe and like these blocks of 20 like drones at a time. But they're like this globe moving around, and it was unreal.
Here.
But, oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna leave that there.
But
been on the TV here has been swimming. It seems like every time we turn it on, it's just swimming.
Yeah, well, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the swimming. But one of the cool things during the opening ceremony is they talked about the. So Chris has a picture of this very oily man from.
There's children present.
Yeah.
So shiny.
Yeah, this is great. Okay. So one of the coolest things they did though was that they had this guy that was reenacting all of the logos of all the events at the Olympics. Like he was dressed in blue, and he would take the shape of like a runner, and they would show the logo of that. You know, and it was some kind of anniversary of it, or maybe the Japanese actually came up with. I was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was super cool. Like it was funny, and it was cool because they would just they would turn the camera a little bit to make it work for some of them, but it was a really good opening ceremony. I think I fell asleep during the flags, but
did they include like anime characters? Because like they had that in their advertising, and like you could get shirts with like Dragon Ball Z characters.
Oh,
I don't. I think they did. They incorporated a little bit of it. I can't. No, they didn't do all that. But I mean, there was probably elements of it. I can't remember for sure. But you know, they also, whenever they announced that it was going to be Tokyo, they showed Mario as part of the advertisement. He's nowhere to be found. But
missed opportunity.
Or Yoshi or somebody.
He's really Italian, and they just couldn't really.
Yeah, that's right. Like, oh, I can't do this.
I was like, shoot, he's Italian, not Japanese. Dang it. Okay, get him off.
We watched mountain biking, which was
okay.
The Norway team won first, second, third, and then the rest of the countries were nowhere to be found. Like they were so far ahead. They're like, well, we're gonna just show the Norway people celebrating. Don't know when the other groups. I'm sure they'll be coming up soon. Like it was a long time.
Well, I mean, they were riding up Mount Fuji, so I mean, it's long.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
badminton was kind of fun.
Well, it always is.
Well, yeah. Getting around a bird.
Is badminton like the curling of Summer Olympics? Or what would be the curling of Summer Olympics?
Some people think that it's table tennis. I mean, it's ping pong or table tennis has been there forever, and that's been a big part of it, really, to me. Yeah. But I would say badminton is probably the curling.
Yeah, that would be the curling, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
But they get pretty intense with the badminton, and there's a lot of skill and strategy to it. So.
Do they have bowling? Do they have bowling?
I don't think so. There used to be like ballroom dancing and all these weird things, but it's not as crazy as it used to be with all these weird.
Hoping for pro wrestling to be a part of it.
Just regular wrestling.
Well, pro wrestling should. You think about it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's popular in many countries.
Because you have gymnastics that does all these floor shows and everything.
Mm-hmm. Get some luchadors in there.
Put on a floor show with pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Why not? They can have badminton. They can have pro wrestling.
Barely talk about like video games, like competitive video game.
Esports is a thing, man. They're making so much money in esports. And, it's becoming bigger and bigger. You can do things in college with it now, and people are getting scholarships to do that stuff in college. And
I think they'd have to only play like Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
That's only just in. We just found out from my correspondent on the field, Vance. Nintendo World was supposed to be a part of the show, the Olympics. Okay. The show. But because of the COVID theme park thing, they pulled that part out of it.
Oh well.
Oh well. COVID strikes again. Speaking of COVID striking again, it was announced today that masks are coming back to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Woo!
Yay!
Indoors only for now.
Is that, which is better?
Yeah.
Because it's so hot there right now. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
I can handle that indoors. That's fine.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Outdoors, I think we're okay with them out when we're outside.
Yes. I believe.
But
So.
it's Disney. They, they're a big organization. They got to do what they got to do.
Yeah, it's super smart because I mean, if they can prevent those things from happening at their park, then that will keep them afloat, right? Keep them open. Yeah. So they got to do what they can. So
yeah,
they're starting the cruise.
It just stinks.
They're starting the cruise lines up again.
Yeah.
And if you're like indoors on the cruise, you have to wear a mask. If you're outside, it's fine not wearing one.
Do you think they're going to cut back? We're getting into the week. You think they're going to cut back on stuff they do on the cruise because of all the precautions?
They are. They're cut back. Like I don't think daycare. I don't think they're doing daycare on it because there's a lot of people canceling their cruises because of because they're cutting back on a bunch of stuff. They're not doing like at the beginning. There's like a big sail away party. They're not doing that. You can still. I mean, you can watch that from your room. You can watch it from the deck. But one thing that's nice is you don't have to go do the the thing where that you go to like the deck and you have to put on your vest and line up and they go through all the things of what happens. You go to here. You have to get on this little boat and stuff like that. You can just watch it from your room, which is. I would rather just do that because it's kind of annoying. You have to be at a certain place at a certain time, line up with everyone. Like everyone has to be out there, and so it just takes forever.
Yeah,
there's always people that are late coming to
it. When I flew up to Tennessee, there was a big delay, and our plane got messed up, or not our plane, the plane before us got messed up, and we just switched. And then they didn't have any way to check us in, so they wrote our names on this piece of paper, which is like, oh, that makes me feel secure. So we're sitting there forever, and then they're going to do this spill stuff, and they're still counting people. And this one random dude in this orange polo just starts walking by, and he starts doing all this stuff. I'm like, who is this dude? Does he work for the airline? And we found out he did, but he just had a different outfit on from everyone else. Oh. And I was like, so if I wore an orange polo, could I just pretend to work on an airplane?
Yes.
I think I'm going to do that. But finally made it here. So other Disney news, we found out today that Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney.
Yes, she is.
Good for her.
She wants her money.
Because she's not rich enough.
Well, I can see why she's doing it because in her contract, I mean, basically, her and a lot of the originals have negotiated. Like, I mean, they're getting a lot of their money from the movie sales.
Yeah,
and Disney decided to put Black Widow on Disney Plus same day, so that cuts into her what money she should be getting.
Do you think that's why it was? Delayed so long?
I don't think Disney did it on purpose. Like, oh, we'll just put it on Disney Plus. We don't have to pay her that much.
No, like they kept delaying it. Do you think they were trying to get it in just theaters because of that clause?
I don't know if it was because of that clause. I think they were just trying to get in the theaters because they weren't sure. Like, are we going to be able to really make enough money to put on Disney Plus for this? But they made like $60 million or something off of Disney Plus.
Supposedly she's going to lose. I don't know about this. She's going to lose $50 million.
I can see that because these movies, like especially the big ones, they'll make like $1 billion. Dollars in theaters.
If because of the way the world is right now, if they just released it in theaters, I don't think they would.
Not right now.
No, basically, I think they just needed to renegotiate with her, which I guess Scarlett Johansson tried to do. They need to renegotiate to where she probably got some sort of financial gain from the Disney Plus sales. But they didn't do it, and I can see them doing that to save money for themselves.
Oh, Disney.
But I mean, because of this is definitely going to be the last time we're going to see her in a Marvel movie. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Which it was her last time.
True. Yeah.
She's going out in a blaze of glory. I'm sure that it's all going to go away. She's going to get a big fat check.
I don't know. Disney fired back at her today.
Or did they?
Yeah, and like basically saying like, "Oh, this is just terrible that she's doing this because we needed to release this because of COVID, so people could see it. That she's just being very, very bad about like thinking about people and stuff. They're trying to turn it on her.
Disney is. Well, we'll see what happens. Big organization, famous actress. It's gonna be a documentary one day on Netflix.
Probably so.
That's a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. So let's get on to the main attraction. That's the news. Most of it was sort of not fun news, except for the Olympics. Olympics is fun. All right, Catron, this is your time to shine.
Well, thank you, Ryan.
In case I cut out.
So tonight we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe, talk about the history and of the Masters of the Universe, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and the TV shows. There's some video games. I don't know if y'all knew that there were video games of Masters of the Universe or He-Man. And and talk about the new show, Masters of the Universe Revelation, and then the possibility of a movie coming out. I don't know if y'all have seen that or not.
Yeah, I mean that's been going for years.
Yeah,
it has. So in 2019, there was somebody that came out. I can't remember his name now, but he said that I'm going to be He-Man, and of course I think it fell apart, but they keep trying to bring it back. So hopefully it'll happen. I don't know, but
I don't know how they're going to beat the last one, but we'll see.
Yeah. I know, right? It was so well done. So if y'all have seen the Power of Grayskull documentary, did y'all ever watch that on Netflix?
I believe so. It was
or the Toys That Made Us.
I watched the Toys That Made Us.
So they talked about the toys, and I thought it was interesting that it didn't start out as a cartoon, but as a figure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And before it became a figure, it became a thing because they decided not to do Star Wars.
Yep.
Yes.
Mattel said no, but mostly because of money, right? Because it was going to be so expensive. To make Star Wars characters.
They didn't really think it was going to be anything.
And they didn't think it was going to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we need to make a man in a fur speedo. That's what the kids are going to love.
Yeah. So it was like Conan the Barbarian was a big thing then, right? And that's what everybody thought of it. And they had comic books that went along with each of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember the comic books. I'm assuming you guys had He-Man figures.
Yeah,
right?
we had He-Man figures that each came with like a little comic book, basically with the story of the character. And then I think it may have been Marvel. I don't know. It was one of Marvel or DC. They had their own like little comic line as well.
Yeah. So
it was Marvel, I think. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. So they had their characters and they had these comic books, and then they said, let's make a cartoon, and that's what we remember. I honestly don't remember much about the cartoon except for the characters and that there was fighting and I have the power and then I need all these toys because every Christmas or birthday it's like I gotta have this stuff, and I had Castle Grayskull and I had a bunch of different characters. I had the Battle Cat and Panther and I had the extra or the later characters that came along, the Horde. Do you remember that? Hordak?
Yes. Hordak.
So they released like 5 of those in that line, and I was looking at a picture of them, and I had every single one of those for whatever reason, and his castle, and that castle had a snake glove that was with it. I don't know if y'all ever saw it.
Like a little puppet. Yeah.
Yeah, like a puppet, and I remember using it to pick up like slugs or other creatures outside. That's about all I remember with it. But I don't think I ever had Skeletor's castle. Did y'all have the castles? Or?
We did not have Snake Mountain. We had Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And which, like, when it was, I guess, when some of the first artwork was done, like, I guess the artist thought that Castle Grayskull was supposed to go with Skeletor, so he actually drew Skeletor in front of Castle Grayskull, not realizing it. But then, when the show started, it was like, oh no, this isn't Skeletor's castle.
What happened to that?
I don't know where Castle Grayskull is. It might have gotten sold on a garage sale.
I think mine did. Yeah.
A lot. A lot of the figures we still had, I would take. Yeah. I was huge into He-Man as a kid, and I remember when you could take toys to school, like when you're that age, you could take a toy to school or whatever and bring it back home. So I would think I took Battle Cat a lot because I remember my name was written on Battle Cat.
Nice.
Like Toy Story. Because I was Battle Cat and He-Man. I was a big Teela fan.
She still is.
As a kid. I still am. Who's not a Teela fan? But yeah, we had a bunch of them. We had a few of the Horde. We had at least one of the Snake Men, which had the tongue that would shoot in and out. There was like a little thing on his back that would like make the tongue go in and out.
That's crazy. Yeah. I remember, so one of the Horde characters had I can't think of his name right now, but he had this suction thing on his face.
Yeah, leech. He was like a leech. Yeah.
Leech, I think that was his name. Yeah, like something leech. Like that. And it would really suction onto your arm or wherever you suction it to, and that was the coolest thing. But there was actually an article I found that talked about all of the strangest characters or figures, and it actually called them inappropriate. And I didn't think of them as inappropriate, I don't think. But I thought the article was kind of funny. What's interesting is that some of those characters and the things they mention in that article actually appear in Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really funny because I just looked at that article and then watched the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's that guy.
Yeah. Every character that's in the show, I think, was a character either from the TV series or from the comics. Like, even like small, like one of the characters, she only appeared in like one comic.
Yeah, the girl.
Twice, Andra.
Yes.
She was like in maybe 2 comics or something, and she was like a big character in this. So, he went deep diving.
Yeah, it was interesting. So like number it says 15, right? So number 15 is Mossman. Mossman was in the new show. Right? Mm-hmm. Clawful is apparently inappropriate. I don't know why he's inappropriate. I think it was just strange is what they should have called this. And it was strange because he didn't really look like. His claw was super cool because it looked like a lobster claw, but his face didn't look like a lobster or anything. It just looked like this. It was actually a recycled character that they used or something. But I guess that was true about all the characters, right? They all were muscular and looked like wrestlers, and that's what I used to do with mine. Was I treated them like wrestlers, and that was. Back in the 80s and 90s, or 80s, not the 90s. In the 80s, that was the big thing for kids my age, and so I was always wrestling with mine. But
a lot of the arms and legs were just like the same arms and legs on every.
They were, yeah, and you could take them off and switch them around too. That was the cool thing, is that you could pop the arms off. You didn't want to pop the legs off because they had that same rubber band. I think. Set up like the G.I. Joe's had, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same, similar kind of thing. Another one was Snout Spout. Did you ever see Snout Spout? He looks like a elephant head. Yeah.
We didn't have him, but yeah.
Stone Dar was another one. almost as like a transformer. I don't know, but Too Bad had the two heads. I was hoping he would be
We
in
liked Too Bad.
the
Yeah.
show, but yeah, Too Bad is cool. I had Extendar, which is a really unfortunate name, but his body would extend, or his head would extend.
Yeah, the head would pop
so
out.
he looks like he's in a suit of armor, and his head would pop out, which is cool. Mosquitor, so it looks like a mosquito.
I remember
head.
him. The head, like, I mean, they say it's like a mosquito head, but it's a weird, like, mechanical mosquito.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's another point is like, okay, so this is a show about these barbarians or medieval times people, but they had technology.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was really kind of weird.
Yeah, it was like technology and sorcery. Yeah.
And sorcery,
like mixed together.
Yeah. But they got really creative with the characters and did some neat things. I think one of the He-Man figures I had caps that you could put into his body and it would do something.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I remember that. They did. There may have been a couple like that.
Yeah.
I remember that's, I think, one of the first toys that had like a little battle damage thing. There was a He-Man and Skeletor battle damage.
Yeah.
You could hit their chest and
maybe that's
like
what it was.
3 different battle damages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was one where it would spin around or whatever.
Yeah, it'd spin around on the chest.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
That was a big thing. Like they had those little like Hot Wheels type cars that you could crash them in the side, and the door would flip around, and it was like dented in, or the front of it, you know. Tongue Lasher is another one, and it's spelled kind of weird.
My nickname in high school.
Had a huge. I don't remember that one. That one is a later generation. You
one
can
of the
tell
Snake Man.
Yeah.
I think.
Stinkor.
Stinkor, which never appeared on the original show.
No, but he was in Revelation.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Well, everybody remembers Stinkor because, I mean, the toy, you could get it and it actually stunk. Like, it actually had a stink to it.
So not to get too far ahead of things, but so they made a comment about Stinkor in the show. Like, oh, what does that smell? You know, and there he appears. You know, and then the other thing they mentioned was after, spoiler, they kill Moss Man.
What?
And they're like, they pick up and he picks up. He says, "Smells like pine," and that was the cool thing about Moss Man is he smelled like a tree or something. You know, and I actually have him somewhere in my house, and I'm kicking myself for not knowing.
Just
where
follow
he is,
your nose.
I know I should probably, but they say
Smell 'em out.
that Stinkor and Moss Man still smell like they did when they were made because of how they made them. I guess I don't know. That's interesting. But Modulock was you can mix and match the pieces. I guess on the same.
Yeah.
Y'all had 2 heads.
I think I remember.
I remember that. I think I just saw a picture. I'm looking at pictures of them.
Yeah, Scareglow. I never saw Scareglow.
Scareglow, he wasn't in the show. He was like one of the last figures of the original made, and there was like a little comic that you didn't really know the history of him till like maybe later, where they made some comic books. But yeah, he's in the new show. I thought that was great when he showed up. It was awesome.
And I guess the figure actually glowed, is what it looks like, because he's
it glows
has that
in the
tint
dark.
to him. So that was pretty cool. Rio Blast. I'm not familiar with Rio Blast, but he definitely was a later generation, cheaper plastic looking guy, but looks like a modern kind of cowboy feller. But his chest opens up and does something. But apparently he eats peppers. And so it gives him his strength or something weird like that. So that was interesting. But
you remember that dude, Chris?
So Ryan's showing a picture of a
Jitsu.
Jitsu. Jitsu. Yeah. He also didn't make it into the show.
Yeah. So
where's Ram Man? Wasn't there a Ram Man?
I know Ram Man. So I have Ram Man as well. He's with the guys I have, and he was one of my favorites.
You push him down and you pop up.
Yeah.
That's great.
So there were 2 more on this list that show up in the show. Blast Attack, which I'd never heard of, but apparently he can blow himself up, and that's the guy that's in.
Oh, he's in the show.
He's like, oh, he's like trying to turn it off. And then Fisto. So Fisto was in the beginning of the first episode, and you see him running around with his fist. You know, it's pretty cool. But I just thought it was pretty funny that almost all of these or a lot of these characters in this this article actually showed up in the show, but you didn't really see them much before, So.
Oh, Webstar. I remember him. Remember the dude that had a grappling hook?
Kind of.
Say his name again.
Webstar.
Oh yeah, he was like a spider.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
He came with. There's like a backpack, and it had like a string or something that you could like
Yeah.
run him up and down with.
Like a spider.
Oh my
Trapjaw was always one of my favorites.
Yes.
Trapjaw. He had different like mechanical hand things you could put on him.
Yep.
And Buzz Off.
Oh yeah, Buzz Off. The bee guy.
The bee.
So yeah, Trapjaw was pretty cool because he had the cool feature on his face that moved a little bit too, and then of course that was a cool thing too because there was Triclops that had the spinny thing on his head that could change his eyes.
Okay.
Then there was the Roboto that had moving parts inside, which I thought was pretty awesome. Did y'all have a favorite one? I mean, you mentioned Trapjaw. Was that your favorite?
Trapjaw was probably my favorite bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, besides like Skeletor and He-Man and stuff like that, but
yeah.
And I was a huge Cringer Battle Cat fan, and then also Buzz Off. Like I would like.
Oh, Buzz Off.
He had wings, and Stratos was like another winged character. He could fly.
Yeah, I always liked the battle damage. He-Man and Skeletor, where you hit the chest. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
And the who else? Ram Man always liked Ram.
Yeah, that was cool because he had a cool feature that you could push him down, push his head down, make him really short, and then you push this little button on his foot, and he rams whatever, and that was really cool. He had a cool axe and.
And Cyclone was a yellow and blue character, and he his whole waist would spin.
Yeah.
A picture of him there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like his whole, like you would, I think you like squeeze his legs or something, and then like his whole upper body would just spin, and that was like the first fidget spinner, I think.
Maybe so. Yeah. I mean that's what's so cool about the toys. I mean that they had these cool features. They had these different kind of things that they would do. They had all these cool looks that they had. It was technology and sorcery and barbarian, like we said, and I mean, you had G.I. Joe was about the same time, right? And Transformers, and G.I. Joe had some cool stuff.
that was my thing. I was always
he was G.I. Joe. I was more He-Man Transformers.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Star Wars, and then he was.
Of course, as a child, like I couldn't really say H's very well, and so it wasn't He-Man, it was P-Man.
P-Man. Oh man.
Yeah, which was great.
One of the things that we didn't mention was that they had to change Beastman a little bit. I don't know if you saw that in one of the articles I sent y'all, but it's he apparently looked too much like Chewbacca. So when they started, with that, because those were all at the same time as well. So, but Beastman and Mossman were almost identical as well.
Yeah, one was green.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just put that one, make that one green. Call him Mossman.
But I again, I don't remember too much about the show. They've made plenty of memes and little videos with Adam. You've got Adam on your background there, and add all these different effects, and he's singing these songs. And so they have that one meme where he's singing "Hey, what's going on?" or something like that. And,
what's going on?
So, of course, Skeletor was always awesome with his voice.
How'd that go, Chris?
Can you do a little Skeletor?
Can I do it? Probably not.
Okay. Well, never mind.
You could do the new Skeletor.
He-Man,
Yeah.
I will be the master of this universe.
Very nice. Wow.
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 One of the things I guess too about they all had weapons, but I don't feel like I ever kept up with the weapons, and that was the same with GI Joe figures
Yeah.
too, right? I mean,
Yeah, they all had weapons.
that stuff
And,
always disappears.
It's interesting because when you got the Skeletor and the He-Man figure as kids, like the original, if you might have noticed, like Skeletor's sword and He-Man's sword would actually fit together.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be like that.
Yeah.
Like that was supposed to be a big plot detail. Is like they were trying to each get like the sword pieces and put them together so they can be masters of the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was never a big plot. That was never a plot thing.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
They did adopt that for the 2003 show.
Yeah.
Because the sword could be taken apart and put together. And they adopted that into that show a little bit. But yeah, in this season, like this show, it's a big thing.
Yeah, and one of the things I read, it was talking about the original show, and maybe this is talking about the 2000s version. It says He-Man possessed one half of the power sword. Skeletor had the second half, and when joined, the two halves will provide the key to Castle Grayskull. This is why the two figure swords could combine to one when the action figures were initially released. I guess I realized that, but in one early illustrated story, He-Man and Skeletor united their power swords halves to form the true power sword, defeating a common enemy who is Trapjaw, which I thought was kind of funny. But I mean, they usually you just think of He-Man and Skeletor fighting, but I guess they really had all these other guys that were maybe just as bad. The bad guys never really stuck together as much. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the Snake Man were kind of their own thing, and like Skeletor would team up with them sometime, and then Hordak was like the big bad.
Yeah.
Hordak.
Yeah, they were pretty evil. I mean, that Hordak is he's pretty scary looking if you've ever seen his figure, but very cool as well. But that's when they also introduced some of the characters that had some appendages they could add on to do like these different things, and there seemed like there was one that could, maybe it was Hordak, had something that would spin around. I don't know, but
I just saw that. No, it wasn't Hordak. I don't think. I just saw it on that list.
Yeah. So, anyways, they started getting a little more creative with them, but the furry guy that was with Hordak in the Horde, he had a lot of
hair.
A lot of hair. That was always weird to me. You could brush it, I guess, if you really wanted to. And,
braid it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But so last thing, do y'all remember like the Jcpenney catalogs?
Oh yeah.
Looking at the catalog, like that was the biggest thing around Christmas time, right? And seeing all of those play sets, GI Joe, Transformers, and He-Man, and dreaming about them, all the different vehicles.
We would pick out Christmas stuff. We would get the catalog out and circle what we wanted.
Yeah, we'd circle, like we'd fold the edge of the pages at the top so they knew what page to turn to.
Yeah.
That was the greatest. I kind of miss those days.
And
they don't make toys like they used to. I mean, we always say that. They were so different then. Now they're collectibles, right?
Yeah, or collectibles.
So that's.
Ask your son there. Kids don't play toys anymore. They just play video.
You don't play toys anymore, do you? Legos.
Yeah, Legos. A lot.
We still play with toys.
We play with toys. So.
What you talking
about?
So the show went on. They made a movie. I remember watching the movie, but I don't remember much about it. I've only watched it once. I'm sorry, say
masterpiece.
A masterpiece.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant.
A better movie has never been made. Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren. And Courtney Cox.
At their finest. Forget Friends. Who needs that?
Yeah, but I mean, like, all jokes aside, though, the guy that played Skeletor, Frank Langella, like, did an amazing job. Like, if you do watch it again, like, he does, like, he really goes all out playing Skeletor, and he looks scary. He looks really creepy.
It's really scary because his face is like plastic, and It doesn't look right, but it's
The thing that always got me about the movie was they just made up their own characters for the movie when they could have used characters from He-Man. I don't know if it was some like licensing thing where they couldn't
Probably
use
so.
some of them.
Yeah.
But Gwildor like was the little magician guy, and like, where's Orko? I want Orko.
Yeah.
They're like, how do we make Orko? I don't know. Just make this dude and call him something else. They didn't know how to make a dude float back then.
Yeah.
and give him just eyes.
And little fun little tidbit though, the woman that played the sorceress was also played Courtney Cox's mom on Friends.
Well, there you go.
Kind of funny.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there was that film, and then there was also an animated film before that. I don't know if you ever saw that one. He-Man and She-Ra, The Secret of the Sword.
She-Ra.
Yes. She-Ra. Yes, I remember watching that. I remember watching that in high school again with some guys, just like laughing at it the whole time.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And there have been other series in between. So in 1983 was, of course, began the He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, and then 1990 we had the New Adventures of He-Man.
Which I don't really remember that one.
I don't either.
I think they really redid the characters.
I'm sure.
And it was just wasn't. That may have been when they like introduced like Hero and some other characters that just didn't look like like He-Man characters.
Yeah.
So I think I skipped that.
I did. And then He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in 2002. Oh, did you find it?
Yeah, this is the one that nobody watched.
the New Adventures, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. There's no way to see.
Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah, it was like...
He looks completely...
It went really 90s.
Yeah.
He's more lean. Then they look like... What was that? Those toys... They look like a different toys that we had when we were a kid. Oh. I want you to show you. He had a ponytail. Yeah, he's not good. And his skeleton looked ridiculous. What? What the heck? You've got to look this up. Skeletor looks.
We can't see it.
Can't see it. Skeletor looks like some weird samurai tree guy.
Well, good.
He looks ridiculous.
So, lots of TV shows, a few movies. There's, of course, the rumors about the new movie that somebody put together a fan film, I believe, or trailer, and it was kind of funny with Skeletor sitting at the bar. And I don't know if you all remember seeing it, but it's He-Man walks into this bar, and Skeletor's sitting there at the bar. Oh, that's nice. And everybody turns around and looks at He-Man, who's dressed in this full barbarian outfit, and they're just like, "Whoa, what is this guy?" But of course, Skeletor's sitting at the bar, and it's like, "Oh, that's normal," you know. But they have some kind of encounter. But it, you know, of course, it was just, I guess, a teaser or a fake or something. I can't remember for sure. But hopefully, they'll make a new movie. That I think it could be fun. But
yeah, I would enjoy a new movie.
Yeah.
I think it'd be as long as they do it right, like they actually use characters.
But then again, I guess the hard part is making it look believable with these crazy looking characters, right? Not necessarily believable, but not comical. You know? Yes. Like to have a real life Triclops with that thing around his head it'd be kind of weird, you know.
It's a horror show.
And maybe that's why they didn't do it in the original movie, was because it just would have looked even more ridiculous than it did. You know?
Really
Possibly.
But they did make some video games for the show as well, or for the characters. There were a couple of fighting games, which I thought looked pretty interesting.
I don't remember those.
There's a list of them. We won't go through all of them. Most of them. There was an original game a long time ago on the, I believe it was Atari, and of course Game Boy Advance had a game. I was trying to find the Atari one, but It looked pretty bad. You couldn't
Where
even
was
tell who it
where's
was.
the fighting game on?
The fighting game, I'm looking for it right now. The original game was on the Intellivision, which I have the Intellivision upstairs. It's called The Power of He-Man. And I'm trying to find and then Super Adventure was on the Spectrum, which that was probably the first game actually. But there's the arcade game, Masters of the Universe. I think that's the fighting one, which is also Spectrum. And then I believe this one that I'm looking at right now is called He-Man: The Most Powerful Game in the Universe. Is actually an app you can play on your phone. I don't know if it's still a game or not, but I played it for a while, and it was on iOS. It was pretty fun because you could power up your sword and all that. There's a PlayStation 2 game that was called Defender of Grayskull. It's a multi-platform actually, so not just PlayStation 2. I can't remember which one it was now, but that was an adventure game. But I guess there was a fighting game, which I think we would have a lot of fun with if we could find it.
Yeah,
it was a very cartoonish looking one, so the animation was really cool in it, not like your standard fighting game.
Kevin's been on that to make that. He listens.
Yeah, just make it.
Big listener for iamGEEK.
So, lots of cool things with Masters of the Universe, but it did kind of die off, in the 80s and 90s, right? You just don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden we have the new show.
Yeah. Let's talk about Revelation a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Revelation. So it's part one.
Part one
of 2 parts, and it sounds like it could come out very soon, but before the end of the year.
Yeah,
they are on IMDb. They show 2 episode names for the second half.
I did see that.
Yes. What's the name?
Well,
episode. Oh,
yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Episode 6, cleaved in twain.
What?
I know.
Don't give it away too much, please.
Twain, Mark Twain.
Huckleberry.
Going back into history, which I did watch an old episode recently, and to prepare for this tonight, and it was an episode where a magician brings in figures from Earth's history to fight He-Man, and one of them was Blackbeard, but he looked like a space pirate.
Ooh,
interesting.
Well, he was a space pirate.
Yeah. And then episode 7, Reason and Blood.
What? Stop.
So, one of the things Kevin Smith said in his video on Twitter, if y'all saw that, I know Chris saw it, he sent it to me, was that the next, not the whole next part 2, but I think part of part 2 is about Evil Lynn and her backstory, right? Isn't that what?
Yeah, it almost, the way he said it almost sounded like, the first half is like focuses on Tila, and the second half focuses on Evil Lynn.
Yeah. So, I guess we should step back and talk about the first half first, right? So, first of all, I guess, how did you guys feel about Masters of the Universe Part 1 or Revelation Part 1?
Revelation.
It was good.
It was good. Ryan?
Are you done, Chris? Or is there more?
Oh, no, I can say so.
I said I was done.
I said it was done.
Oh, sorry. I was just
Merman said he was done. I liked it. I thought it was good. I kind of expected a little bit on how it was going to play out because there was rumors that, spoilers, that He-Man was going to die and it was mostly going to follow Tila. I know. I know. So I was kind of expecting that. So it wasn't like a huge kind of thing. And as you're watching the episode, it's kind of leading up to that a little bit. You can kind of tell. I mean, and they did call it Masters of the Universe, not He-Man.
That's right.
And the Masters of the Universe. I feel like I should be talking with a backwards hat and being very animated with my hands as I'm doing this.
Get close to the camera.
Yeah. Is this what Kevin Smith does?
Right.
So anyway.
Hockey joke,
yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, man. It was awesome. It was spectacular. It really rocked everything. Really brought back the nostalgia. It was great. I loved it. It was so good. It was really brought it back. But yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
Good. What did you think, Ryan? As you drink your drink.
sorry.
Sorry, bad timing.
I thought Chris was more. Yeah, I guess he's done.
No, I cut him off.
Yeah.
I liked it. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. Because I hadn't watched or seen interviews or watched. I don't even know if I've watched the trailer. I don't.
Well, if you watched the trailer, you would have thought He-Man was actually in the show more.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be more He-Man,
Uh,
especially because I heard it's all nostalgia. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
yeah.
It reminded me, and everybody's probably going to disagree with me, and that's fine. You can disagree with me. It reminded me of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi,
Oh,
the Star Wars universe.
you told me that, and my heart sank because, well, I did like Force Awakens, but still, it's like, oh, you thought that poorly of it, huh?
No. I liked it. I thought the reason I thought that was because the story was okay. So in the original Star Wars, you had the main people were basically like Luke Skywalker and everything,
Yeah.
Darth Vader and everything. And then in the sequels, it was like, oh, let's switch it and make it, a female. So this one they switched it to make the main person a female, searching for the main person from the old ones.
Yeah.
Then there's a death. Then there's this. Just, I mean.
Yeah.
So I thought that it was a lot like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, but done better.
There you go.
So I enjoyed
Good.
it. I liked how they had all the characters in it, and I liked how they did that kind of story better than how they did it in the Star Wars sequels.
Sure.
I liked
Yeah.
I did not like Last Jedi. Everybody knows if they watched it.
That's why I was like, oh.
Well, at least Skeletor didn't get the power, so he's like,
No, I don't want this.
Yeah.
and walked away.
The way that they did the death scene in this one in Masters Universe was way better than the way they did
Sure.
the death of. Spoiler if you haven't seen Last Jedi or whatever.
Oh,
the
gosh.
death of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I did. I did like.
Okay.
Again, spoilers. Which I feel like Kevin Smith again.
Spoilers, man.
When like how Skeletor tricked He-Man into using his sword to unlock the the trove of wisdom or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he actually stabbed it through Skeletor.
I thought that was a little like very fortunate. Like
Well, he
waiting.
aimed, like right.
Line it up.
Okay, right here.
Stab
Aim
me
it.
now. You finally used the sword like you're supposed to.
Or whatever, and yes, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, kind of fun.
Yeah.
I was more hurt by the fate of Orko than the fate of He-Man.
So real quick,
Yeah.
I liked the show. I had seen some things of people complaining about it not having He-Man, so I kind of went into it. I didn't know that he was going to die, but I kind of went into it saying, okay, he's probably not going to be around or whatever. But I thought it was funny how they the first episode, it was more of a fan service type episode where they're like, here's this guy and here's this guy and introducing all these different characters and saying their names, and it was just kind of funny, it's but I actually after the first episode I was hooked and wanted to watch it again, and I thought it got better after you got past the first episode. Where a lot of people thought it got worse because He-Man wasn't in it, but I kind of liked it, and I'm not one to usually like those some of those types of shows where it's not what you expect and not what you were hoping for. But I thought the story was pretty fun and interesting, and I liked the art style. And I guess what I really liked was that it wasn't too gory. Because one thing I thought when going into it with that style was like, oh man, we're gonna see somebody's head just ripped off, and it be like the Mortal Kombat series that we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of expected. And I was like, oh well, this isn't bad, So
What did you? So, what did you think about the scene? Okay, after Prince Adam is dead, and they go back to the king. And what did you think about the king's reaction to Man of Arms?
The fact that it
You
was
will,
his fault.
it's your fault. I'm banishing you, and you are never allowed to build anything again.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's the government, man. That's what they're going to do.
I thought that part was a little cheesy.
Yeah.
I thought,
There was plenty of cheese in it.
And like the thing about like Tila being mad at Prince Adam.
yeah.
I get why they did it, but I've never really seen it super successfully done, where it's like we need this character to be mad at this character, and so this is kind of how we're doing it. But like really in life, you'd be like, oh, I can't believe he didn't tell me. Oh, but he's dead. I'm gonna feel sad. I'm not gonna feel mad.
It was funny though because she's like when they're in the heaven place,
Preternia,
or whatever, and he goes to find her, and she's like, all grumpy, and he's like, but I died. Like what you say, like,
yeah,
hey, you're mad at me, but I'm the one that died.
Yeah.
Right.
It felt a little whiny.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could have done that a little bit better on why she would have been still mad at him.
They definitely modernized the story a bit, and the characters, and made them, nowish.
They're bored.
Yeah, and
it's stupid. Sorry.
But if you go back and watch the original series, because I feel like I watched some recently, and I tried to watch them, and I'm like, man, this acting is really bad. Like it's really cheesy. It kind of made me, when watching the new one, I was like, it is a continuation, because it was really kind of cheesy, and I mean, but it's also this crazy story, this fantastical story of sorcery and technology and barbarians all mixed together, and you're like, it's got to be crazy, it's got to be insane.
It needs to be one of those pitch meeting videos.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I can't wait to see that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, pitch meeting would be hilarious.
This show is full of actors, voice actors that you've heard of, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all good voice actors.
Yeah. The only
Henry Rollins, what the heck?
Henry Rollins is Triclops, right? Or I'm sorry, no,
of
Trapjaw, right? Or gosh, I got it mixed up already. I've got it up here. Hold on.
Triclops, I think
it is Triclops. Yeah. So yeah. So he does a really great job. I thought some of those were kind of funny, but the one thing that I would change, and I was going to ask you guys if there was something about the series you would change, I'll go ahead and say mine is Sarah Michelle Gellar not being Tila. I didn't care for. I love Sarah Michelle Gellar.
It's Buffy.
I love Buffy, but I didn't like her voice as Tila. It just didn't. I don't feel like she has a good cartoon voice. If that makes sense.
The first episode, I think, threw me because like her voice is very recognizable. Like it's like, oh, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar, and in that first episode, they made her pretty whiny.
Yeah.
Because like she was very upset that that Prince Adam didn't tell her, her dad didn't tell her.
Yeah.
So I think that was more in the writing, for me than her.
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it.
Who would you pick?
I don't know. I couldn't decide who. I may have had somebody and I've forgotten, but I don't know who I would pick. Just somebody else. But I thought Evil Lynn was awesome because
Lena Headey.
Lena Headey is incredible as a bad guy. As a villain, right? So I thought that was a great pick.
Yeah, a villain that you can like. Like she's very good at doing a villain that you can like.
Yeah, I didn't expect that as.
That's one of the best scenes where when Skeletor comes back and like looking at him, she's like, I really started to like you kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Liam Cunningham as Man-at-Arms, I think, was great. I think he did a really good job. I wish, like, when they came to get him, though, he was a little less like, I can't go save the universe.
It's
Not supposed to build anything anymore.
Yeah. So one of the best is Stephen Root as Cringer, right? He's the guy from Office Space. I didn't realize this until I was looking at something. I was like, oh my gosh, that is that guy. I want my stapler. I need my stapler.
Yeah.
And I thought that
Bill
was
from
incredible.
King of the Hill.
He did a really good job.
He does a lot of good voice acting. I mean, Bill from King of the Hill, is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Kevin Conroy.
Kevin, Batman himself.
Yeah.
Was Merman. That was that was a little bit of miscast for me.
Okay.
Just because of, like, when I think of Merman, when, like, the original, and I even think the 2000 show, they've made it sound like he was underwater, whatever. Like when he would talk.
That's true. That's true.
It was just a fun voice, and, like, I don't know if maybe it's because I've just seen so much Batman stuff and it's Batman that it's just like it just really focused me that, oh well, that's definitely Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Listening to that. But I don't want to deny him a job, though. So he's still great.
Yeah, and then Justin Long is Roboto. You don't really notice it. It's Justin Long, but it is. And of course, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, which I thought was pretty incredible. You remember Skeletor being this really high pitched, but I still think it was pretty awesome.
All I heard was Joker. That's all I could hear.
It is, but it's still pretty awesome.
He still does a really great job.
No, it was really good. But, like, when he was in the after episode, when he was talking, they were talking about, so how did you come up with the Skeletor voice? And he was going about all these other things, and I'm like, dude, you just did the Joker with more nasally. It was good, but it was the Joker more nasally.
Yeah,
still good.
Still good. I did love that they brought Alan Oppenheimer back.
Yeah,
the original Skeletor, and he was Mossman, which he may have played Mossman in the old one too. I'm not sure. But he's a great voice actor. He's done so much stuff. It's such a good job.
Alicia Silverstone is Queen Marlena. I thought that was
cool. She was in that.
I know. I was like, wow. But so all these great voice actors.
So she knew that Prince Adam was He-Man.
Yes, and like
she told her husband.
No, and I mean, she's from Earth. Like she was an astronaut that landed on Eternia.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
So, I mean, like you know those Earth women, they're not going to tell their husband stuff.
So the movie.
I don't know.
I guess I didn't remember that. That was that only certain people knew. Like it was a very small amount of people that actually knew Adam was He-Man. Sorry, spoilers.
They do it in the opening for the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Tila. She didn't know. And the king. They're just
She's like the sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Oracle.
We do see He-Man die in the first episode, and then it's all some of the other what now?
Said and the last episode.
And the last episode he dies again, but on the in-betweens we get these other characters that usually are alongside of Skeletor. They try to be their own rulers, like Merman. You mentioned he wants to be a big bad, and of course Triclops, who bows down to Motherboard.
He joins Scientology.
And the Holy Sprocket.
That was so weird.
It was really weird.
He becomes Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that part
That's true.
was like a bad G.I. Joe episode.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a He-Man episode.
Because
that's right.
Well, but the way it looked to me, it looked like a bad old G.I. Joe episode for some reason.
But I think that's again what made it great is like those shows were so cheesy back then, and it kept it cheesy and didn't go over like all this blood and guts and like seriousness. Like I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, Tila was getting strangled by an eye. That's amazing.
It was amazing.
I don't Trapjaw is somebody that would just fall in line to Triclops, though. That's
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But
like he would be the guy in charge.
Well, they're all kind of idiots, really. So
That's true.
that's a good point. And I was then amazed about how many people died in the show. Right? We talked about He-Man and Skeletor dying, and
Orca.
Mossman, Orca. Yeah, like you think about those cartoons back
Orca.
then. Is
Orca.
nobody
Orca.
ever died in G.I. Joe. They always missed, right? They're worse than stormtroopers, but people were just shooting, and you just see lasers going past people in G.I. Joe, right?
Didn't Duke die?
Probably
In the
later
movie.
on, in the movie. But in He-Man, nobody ever died. They just beat each other up and went their separate ways, right? Or am I forgetting somebody dying? And
Kills everybody.
yeah, there's magic. So I thought that was really interesting to see these characters die, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
I thought Trapjaw died because he got like a saw to the face, but then he showed back up later with like just a scar on his head.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Trapjaw, right? So man of metal. So a lot of characters died. We mentioned earlier the guy that explodes. That's like a kamikaze guy. I thought that was pretty funny because every time he would almost explode, he's like, oh, gotta hit the button, and he's trying to fight it. So lots of funny moments, lots of funny lines, I think, and things that happen. So supposedly in the second one, we're gonna see He-Man and Skeletor fight. So we're pretty sure he's gonna come back.
He's dead. I don't know.
So
He's in the stomach.
if you haven't seen the video with Kevin Smith, he's kind of hints at, or not hints at, he pretty much comes out and says it, that He-Man will be back.
Yeah, I think Netflix
not do it, right?
Yeah, I think Netflix kind of made him say like, yeah, man, He-Man's going to be here
Probably
in more episodes. Don't worry.
Yeah, but Orca's dead.
But
Which I
Orca's
thought
dead.
was hilarious. I was like, Orco. Sorry, I said Orca. Orco.
The ship from Jaws is long gone.
Yeah, I thought
Orca is gone.
that was another good voice actor, Griffin Newman. I thought did a really good job with Orko.
Which he was Arthur on the Tick.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I was really kind of upset to see him go, but it was still kind of cool that he had his moment. Like he was dealing with his own self-worth, or not self-worth, but self-esteem, and he found it within himself and saved the day, right?
Which you never know. He could come back.
He could come back. I mean,
Better.
he's magical. But he's dead. But then it's like Kevin Smith laughed after he said it, So it's like, well, everybody could come back, It's cartoon. It's an animated series.
Nobody's dead. They're all in that fancy Preternia place or whatever.
Yeah, so let's talk about Preternia a little bit. There were a lot of people there I had never seen before.
I don't think anybody's seen them before.
I remember some of them, like King Grayskull. Like I remember.
I didn't know that was a person.
Yeah, I remember that being a person, which I think they delved into that in the 2000 series, 2003 series. I remember the toy Hero. And thinking it was just like it was a weird toy or whatever. And he was supposed to be like the son of.
Who's the lady there?
She was like one of the first sorceress characters.
Yeah.
Voiced by Cree Summer, who does a lot of good work.
Priestess is the name of the character. Priestess.
So those are all characters that once held the Sword of Power?
All the
way I understood it.
Men, at least. I think the priestess, she was like more of like the sorceress, like one of the first of them. I think there was like 3 over time in like the comics or the history of it. She was like one of the first ones.
That's interesting. Yeah. They all got to choose their form when they went to Preternia. So Adam chose to be his Adam instead of He-Man. Yeah. That is weird.
The one character that cracked me up, because I looked into his history a bit, was the guy with the W on his chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Wondor. And he was originally made as like you could get, I believe you could get him through like like sending in like coupons from like Wonder Bread,
Oh.
and that's why he was called Wondor.
Oh.
And he was basically just a He-Man figure with like his pants and shoes painted black, and then like that chest piece was from a different character that I think we had. He had like a metal mask on. I can't remember his name, but it was funny.
Wonderful.
So that was cool. Of course, he's told if he leaves, he can't ever come back, which that really stinks.
Yeah. Do they really know that though? Because no one's left before.
I know. That's what I thought too. And I was like, so we'll find out, I guess, where he goes, and if he really did die. We don't. I mean, he got stabbed with a spear, yeah, but I mean,
I'm kind of thinking there's some little trickery that Evil Lynn is doing, because like her going with Skeletor and kind of basically getting him to leave type thing and ignore the others.
Yeah,
I think it's distracting him in some way so they can escape of something. I think there's gonna be something like that.
maybe so.
What's her name?
I don't know, man, but I think it's gonna be something.
She wasn't born Evil Lynn. She was born Lynn.
She added the evil later.
I mean, the thing is, now that they've got the Sword of Power came back and all the magic is back, supposedly, right? So,
yeah.
Which I kind of back up a little bit. They kept talking about there's no magic left, and the only magic is with the sorceress, right? She's in this room and she's by herself, and but other people had magic.
Well, it was like when they got closer to where the swords had split, like those areas.
Okay.
Like the magic was a little bit more concentrated there.
Okay.
Because Orko was like all like, sickly and everything until they got to like the underworld or whatever, where
That's
closer to the sword,
okay.
and he got some magic back and was able to harness it.
So
they kind of
yeah. So maybe since the magic's back, maybe they were able to help Adam stay alive and heal his wounds. Who knows? We'll find out.
The second part's going to be called Masters of the Universe. The magic's back.
The magic's back. He-Man's back.
Tila got her group back.
Yeah. But,
Skeleton traveling pants.
So I'm excited. Is there anything you guys would change or anything that you thought was really great about the show?
I overall wouldn't really change anything. Like I said, I wish Man at Arms was a little less like I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
But they made him like really cool. Like, he was like better than He-Man at fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
He was freaking awesome.
The most important person, apparently. So.
Yeah, yeah. But overall, I liked it. I don't think I would have done really anything majorly different. You okay, Ryan?
Yeah, nothing. It's fine. I thought there was something coming out from behind you, Chris, but it's just Charlie's. It's the way the screens are together. Anyway.
Oh. That's funny. How about you, Ryan? Anything you would change or anything you really liked about it?
There were some. I mean, it may have just been because I'm really tired, because I'm a lot of, being worn out up here, stressed out and stuff. There were parts where I found myself drifting, like some slow parts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought the adventure to get the swords, like I think Van said in our comments, was a little short. It was just like here
they are. Got them.
I guess that's just because the amount of episodes they had, which is and just maybe some of the whiny people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I wanted more, right? It's these 24-minute episodes, and it's like, oh my gosh, which was great because you could binge watch it really quickly, and watch it all. But it's like, oh my gosh, it's over already, and it's this short run series. But
they probably could have not had the Merman people part in it.
Is that the boat part? The boat of...
I mean, they could have. I mean, it was cool to see that character, but they probably could have done without that character and added some more story development in.
Sure. Yeah.
It was just sort of like, hey, we're on a boat. Oh, there's Merman because we're on a boat. And then,
That's what happens when you get on a boat.
I was going to say, yeah. Don't you
Get a
remember
merman.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier? They gotta have a boat.
They gotta have a boat episode.
Yeah.
So they could have left that out and added some more development or more of the quest or more of that stuff.
So, anyways, we'll have some more
I'm
episodes.
tired, so I guess we gotta wrap it up. He's yawning.
Is he yawning over there?
Yeah.
But
Sorry, we're pretty boring.
No, it's not that you're boring.
Chris,
I'm tired.
did you? We're like an hour, over an hour 20 in.
Yeah.
There's
was there a special guest?
I'll talk amongst yourself. I'll go get him. He's in the other room.
Okay.
So we're gonna go see Jungle Cruise tomorrow.
Sweet.
Which I'm super excited about. We're gonna see it with some friends, but it looks like it's gonna be a mostly empty theater because none of the other tickets are sold. So that's pretty cool.
I would love Jungle Cruise tomorrow.
Yeah. So lots of fun.
I watched. So what have I watched? Oh, I watched the first Fear Street movie.
I started watching the first one. I haven't finished the first one yet.
It was okay.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It reminds me a lot of Scream.
Yeah, now I'm sort of like, I guess I should watch the second one.
We're getting some feedback from Chris's earbuds, I believe.
Yeah, I think Chris.
He set his earbuds down and he's getting his costume on. I don't have a way to mute him, unfortunately.
Sorry. His costume on? No. Sorry. Yes, from the green room. Oh, hello there. Who's this?
Tried to reconnect so you're not hearing.
I don't know where it went. Anyway.
I saw an arm.
There we go.
Who's
Okay, I got it. Okay. Hey!
What in the world?
What?
Hey, Prince Adam here.
Prince Adam's joined us. Wow. That's not what I expected when Ryan said that you had a costume. I expected something different. But okay.
Me too.
Today we learned about the history, and history's a thing. Catron taught us. Ryan learned it, and Chris made stuff up. But so remember, kids, if you ever want to learn more about history, visit your local library. Oh wait, visit the internet. Libraries may not be a thing anymore. But anyway, see you next time.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Prince Adam, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got a little more scruffy, a little more gray.
A little. I mean, he's been around a while,
I mean,
Magic left, so he got old.
I think
he honestly looks like with a beard.
We should have done the whole episode.
I think we should. This is really nice with these noises.
I think Prince Adam's turning into He-Man.
Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can mute him.
By the power of green.
I muted him. He's muted.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, do I need to turn into He-Man?
I'll unmute him. Oh, I can't unmute him now.
Oh, I think you're muted, Chris.
Sorry, I had to mute you.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss the guest? Did I miss him? Was he here?
I think you missed him.
You look like.
Is there any way you can get him to come back?
No, I don't think so.
Talk together.
I'm pretty sure he's got. Are you gone? Gone? He's gone. I think he's gone. So
excellent. Wow.
Crazy.
That's great.
Wow, he looked just like he did on the animated series.
I bet he did. I bet
He
looked a little older. I mean, because that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I mean, he would.
That's a long time ago.
He was still wearing the same shirt.
Well, I mean, if it works, stick with it. I mean.
Yeah.
Man.
Why not?
It's a great
That's
shirt.
what cartoon characters are. I mean, they only wear the same thing.
Well, I think that's probably a good.
That's a great place to stop.
Yeah. Let's stop. We're going to answer some of our YouTube questions. So if you haven't been watching on YouTube, you should check us out on YouTube at iamGEEKshow, where we do this live every week, every Thursday, and you can see our beautiful faces and Prince Adam pop up every now and then.
I mean, you never know who's going to show up on the show.
You never know who's going to be here. Well, this has been episode 203 of I'm Geek. And for Prince Adam and Chris and Catron, I'm Ryan, and we'll see you next time on I'm Geek.
Bye-bye.
So Vance was asking in the comments, the Skelohos and Skeletor pals. Do we know if they are?
I mean, they sound very similar, so I bet they're related in some way.
I imagine so.
When do we think Skelohos will come back?
Who knows?
Soon?
Is there room for Skelehost in the new area?
Oh, yes.
So he
Maybe
could.
there'll be a new version of Skelohos that comes.
Oh, there
Ooh.
could be. We possibly could see a new version of
We should
Skelehost
all
in the
three do
future.
Skelehosts. That would be amazing.
We should all three get. We found
I
something.
have a skeleton.
I won't ruin it, but we found some. I found something on Amazon that may take Skelohos up a notch.
Ooh.
Would be amazing.
We could all have our own versions of Skelohos. Like Chris's version, the real one, will talk like Skeletor / Joker. Catron's will
I don't know.
talk like Catron.
I could do voices.
And
Yeah.
mine just be silent.
His Catrons could sound like Mickey Mouse or Goofy.
Oh boy!
Gosh. Or Pee-wee. Yeah.
That's the crossover we need. Yes. Now, could Skelohos and Prince Adam be in the room at the same time?
I mean, they're agents. Like, they're just really butt heads. I mean, it's just
They're
like,
butt heads, man. That's
they're butt heads. They can't work it out. There was a whole thing in the 70s. That like when they were both up and comers, they were both going out for the same roles. It just wasn't.
Do you think we could get? I mean, not tonight because you said he already left. But could Prince
He's
Adam
gone.
maybe for an interview at some point?
Oh, who knows?
We could do a bonus episode with them.
That could be a thing.
It could be funny. Maybe. How about this? When part 2 of Masters of the Universe comes out on Netflix,
Oh.
we'll put out a formal invite for Prince Adam to come back and be part of our roundtable.
Oh, there we go.
And he can talk about, how the show, like what happened, what he did in the show, and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I mean they did digitally de-age him quite a bit for the show.
He looked really young, didn't he?
I think that needs to happen, and then I think somehow that video needs to get into the hands of Kevin Smith.
Oh, that would be a thing.
Oh, so this is some news just for YouTube. I found out today that in San Antonio, that's in Texas, that because we went to Comic Palooza in Houston, and there's one in San Antonio. I think it's called Fan Fest or something. They had to cancel it today because all of their big name stars pulled on them, and that was at Six Flags. I think is where they're doing it, and it's supposed to happen this weekend, and they all pulled out. Week. It was Ewan McGregor, the guy that plays Anakin Skywalker,
Hayden Christensen,
Owen Wilson, all these people just pulled out, and they said because of the variant,
Loki,
variant, that they were not going to come anymore. So there's going to be a lot of angry people in San Antonio. I'm glad I don't live there.
Yeah,
it's true.
The Six Flags said that they're still welcome to come enjoy the theme park.
come on down.
So,
well, that's good.
Fan Fest will not be happening. All right. Well, I'm glad that Prince Adam came because that's a new character person to add to.
I mean, he's a character.
Yeah, add
to
the list of guests for iamGEEK.
Yeah, old Prince Adam.
Old Prince, yeah. You can be old Prince Adam. I can talk to old Cal Kestis because he's blowing up on Instagram for some reason
Yeah.
that I did, and then we can just have old Catron.
Old Catron. Do y'all remember when we did we did the geekies, and
Yeah.
we did voices for people accepting the awards? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like Chris did a few, and then I tried to do one, and I couldn't keep a straight face at all. And I just laughed the whole time. It was so hard because it was bad.
Yeah. I did a lot of old dead actors, I think.
Something like that. It was really weird.
Megatron.
We didn't do the
Yeah.
Geeky first year.
We didn't.
No, we did not.
Movies really.
There goes the drag racers again.
Ooh. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chris and Ryan got out of doing a quiz that I had put together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's okay. We went really long, so it's my fault. But
We can do it now.
no, it's fine.
Oh.
Do you want to know what the game is? Maybe you will
it-
want to play it.
Well, I mean, it could be a YouTube special.
We can make a YouTube special if you want. If y'all are willing to stay up.
Yeah.
Is
It's
there a way, would it be that much trouble after this is over for you to cut
No.
that, make that its own video?
I thought about that. Yeah, we could do that, or make it even a bonus something or other. So
I'm all for it.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you get Prince Adam to be a part of it?
No, probably not.
I can get He-Man. Hold on, let me take my shirt off.
Oh gosh, please don't.
All right, let's do this quiz.
Okay.
What's it, or what is it? What's it called?
All right, so I've got a quiz for you guys. It's called Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander.
Oh.
I tried to, so I originally started with characters that Mark Hamill had voiced, but then
Yeah.
I was like, well, Skeletor, technically didn't do Skeletor in these quotes, so it's not fair to do that. So I found ones that the quotes could be similar, and they all had similar voices, I guess, too. So
Yeah.
all right. So I'll keep score. I've got it all ready.
So,
And
just
there's
like,
3 choices for each question.
so Chris will go, then I'll go, that type of thing?
You could even, if Chris doesn't get it right, you could try to steal it.
Okay.
Okay.
Since,
all right.
since there's
Do it.
3, you got 3 choices.
We could do that. I got it.
All right. Real quick, Chris, your microphone sounds like it's coming from something else. I don't know. It sounds different for some reason, but it's the right thing. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, we're good. All right.
I'm still here, yeah.
All right. So here's the first one. Chris, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah.
Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander? I am the Alpha and the Omega, death and rebirth. And as you die, so will I be reborn. Sorry, it was written funny. I'll read it again. I am the Alpha and the Omega, death and rebirth. And as you die, so will I be reborn.
I think if you do it in the voice, that'll help.
I'm not going to do
So
it.
I be reborn.
I want to say Cobra Commander.
Ooh, sorry.
Ouch.
Tricky.
Mm.
Ryan, do you have a choice? Either Skeletor or Joker.
I'm the Alpha and Omega. What's
Death
that?
and rebirth.
And Rebirth?
And rebirth.
Okay.
And it's so I copied and pasted this, and it apparently didn't paste right, but it says, "As I die, so will I be reborn." Reborn. So it's not Cobra Commander.
Skeletor?
Mm.
Oh.
It is Skeletor.
Woohoo!
Ryan
Huh.
gets a point.
Oh, maybe that was in the movie.
Could have
Maybe
been.
in the movie.
Could have been. Some of these are hard.
Didn't see that in the cartoon. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Next one. I shall be waiting to reward your genius, or to have you beheaded for terminal stupidity. I have spoken.
Oh, so this is me?
This is you. Is that Cobra Commander, Joker, or Skeletor?
Behead? Who would say behead you? Well, read it one more time.
I shall be waiting to reward your genius, or to have you beheaded for terminal stupidity. I have spoken. I guess you could kind of read these all with the same voice, because they all
Yeah.
kind of
I
say.
have spoken.
It's not Mandalorian, by the way.
Oh,
Not Quill.
Commander. I don't know.
What did you say?
Cobra Commander?
That's correct.
Oh!
Ryan
Yeah, I
gets
thought that
another
would have been.
point.
I
Yeah.
thought I remember him saying something like, "I have spoken."
You have to, so not to give too much away, but you kind of have to think about how they're talking to get some. But I will say that some of these are tricky if you think about how the words that they say. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you're up. Next one. Not the way to treat your beloved ruler. Throw down your weapons or you die. Is it
Not the way to
Skeletor,
treat.
Cobra Commander, or Joker?
Not the way to treat your beloved ruler. Throw down your weapons or die. Who would that be? Not the way to treat your beloved ruler. Throw down your weapons or die. I want to go with Joker. Why not?
Oh my gosh. No, it's not Joker.
Okay.
Ryan, do you have a guess?
Cobra Commander.
Oh, sorry. It is Skeletor.
Oh.
I wish I had what episodes these were in. That'd be even better, but I don't.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Ryan, you're up again.
Okay.
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. Is that the Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander?
Joker?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. Joker? You're correct again. That's 3 for Ryan, Chris.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Here comes the next one. As of now, your little project is deader than disco. Deader than disco. I like that. I would have made a great stand-up comedian.
I want to go with Cobra Commander.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Chris gets
Better
a
than
point.
disco.
I would have made a great stand-up comedian.
I would have made a great stand-up comedian.
All right. I'm going to skip this one because it's too easy. All right. I may come back to it. All right. Tell me about the loneliness of good. Is it equal to the loneliness of evil? Was that Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander?
Tell me about the loneliness of good.
This is for Ryan.
Say it, read the whole thing again.
Tell me about the loneliness of good. Is it equal to the loneliness of evil?
Joker.
Ooh, sorry. Chris, do you have a guess?
Tell me about the loneliness of good.
Tell me about the loneliness of God. What did Ryan say? Which one did he pick?
He said Joker.
He said Joker. I'll go with Skeletor.
Yes, you are correct. You're catching up 3-2.
All right.
All right, Chris. Here's the next
Okay.
one. Let's do. All right, let's do this one. Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?
Well, that was fun. Who's the Chinese?
That's got to be Joker. I think.
You're correct. That was an easy one.
That
Sorry.
was fun.
All right.
Who's for
That was an
Chinese?
easy one.
All right.
Yeah.
This one is for you, Ryan. Morons. I have morons on my payroll. Is that Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander?
Morons. I am morons.
Cobra Commander, you are correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You remember that.
I think I do too.
Morons.
All right, next one. Chris, this is for you. How else can I act when I'm surrounded by such fools? Is that Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander?
How else can I act when I'm surrounded by such fools?
How else can I act when I'm surrounded by just fools?
Can you please stop?
I'll try Skeletor.
You are correct. All right, 4-4.
4-3,
All right.
right?
It's 4-4.
Wait, where did you get an extra one?
I caught up.
He caught up. All right, here's the next one. That man has the constitutionality of a vending machine.
That man has the constitutionality of a vending machine.
Joker?
Ooh, sorry.
Really? Oh, then it's only one other person, man.
It's got to be Cobra Commander.
Yes. Oh, Chris is taking a lead 5-4.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
I'm not much of a betting person, but
I am completely and utterly evil. I live to be bad. I care for no one, and no one cares for me.
I'm completely and utterly evil. I am completely and utterly evil. I am completely and utterly evil. I'm gonna go with Skeletor.
You are correct.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good job. All right, here we go. We've got one more. Silly me, I forgot the acid.
Silly me. I forgot the acid.
Is it Skeletor, Joker, or Cobra Commander?
Oh no, it's either Joker or Skeletor.
Or Cobra Commander.
No, it's not.
Silly me. I forgot the acid.
All right, here's my reasoning. If it's Joker, it's the acid in his flower. If it's Skeletor, it's an acid in a pit that he dropped somebody into.
Because he did have that thing in his in Snake Mountain, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Cobra Commander could have forgot acid too.
I'll go with Joker.
Oh, you're right. It
Yeah,
is Joker.
I think I remember that line. Silly me. I forgot the acid.
Oh, so we're tied? I think we just ended
5
there.
to 6.
Wait, no,
5
no.
to 6. I won.
It's 5 to 5.
That's
We're both
blank.
tied. And then he got one that made him 5, and then I got one that made me 5. It's okay. He can win.
We'll see. You want to do one more?
I don't care.
He wins.
Well, that was.
You can do the voices. I miscounted, I guess. I'm not good at that.
I could have miscounted too. Who knows?
I wasn't even trying to count, so.
Chris is the winner.
Yay, Chris.
He doesn't win.
I never get to win anything anymore.
So here's some other good ones. Nice entrance. Either you never heard of a door or you just like pulling glass out of your shorts.
Nice entrance.
That was Joker.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
this one
that
was
was
an easy
definitely
one. I
Joker.
decided not to. Is oh, what the heck? I'll laugh anyway. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's Joker.
Yeah, I know you got that one.
What the heck? That's from the movie Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, what the heck? I'll laugh anyway.
And then this is another good one. It says, "You look good. Been working out? You could probably use a little sun. Then again, who am I to talk?"
Skeletor?
That's Joker, actually.
Oh, that was Joker.
Yeah.
Again, who am I to talk?
Here's
I can see that.
As Stalin said, "Don't trust anyone, not even yourself." That's deep.
Oh, wow. Cobra Commander?
Yeah, Cobra Commander. Yeah, you kind of think. So, anyways, good job. Those were fun.
Good job.
You did well. So that's it. That's our quiz. Hope you enjoyed it.
Woohoo!
Go watch Masters of the Universe Revelation. We don't get any money for it, but you will enjoy
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Wait,
Gonna
not
enjoy it,
sponsored.
man. It's great.
It's great. It's really great.
And I said, hey, yeah. That's all we can legally do.
That's all we can do. So
Mhm.
thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I said,